Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away.
I did the applause. I thought that was the music and it was the thing for the applause. Like, I'll play it. I'll turn it down so it's not so loud. It's like a little like sounds buttons we have back here, and I never use them. And I didn't mean to applaud myself for coming on, but I should. Maybe I should start doing that. Give myself like a little round of applause, just. Hey, it could work for me. I don't know if it could work for you guys. Let me know. Let me know. That'd be something funny though. Today is the 18th of February. I've been trying to keep you guys up to date on what the date is. I've been trying to keep myself up to date on what the date is. It is Wednesday, I believe. Thursday, tomorrow's Thursday. I'm off. Nothing tomorrow except for just, like streaming or whatever, but no appointments tomorrow. So feels good to be done for one day. But welcome in, everybody. It's good to see everyone in here. We're going to talk about this crazy stuff that's going on in the Nancy Guthrie case. My head is spinning. It's spinning, I tell you. I was like, it would have been easier probably to cover any other case but Nancy Guthrie tonight. Like, it's getting wilder and wilder. It really is. So welcome in, everybody. There's Ladybug. Hello. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Casey. Welcome in, guys. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Maga Mama. Welcome on in. We got Brian Enton out there doing the Lord's work. Then we got another guy from Fox doing, I don't know whose work. It could be the Lord's work too. They both could be wrong. They both could be right. I'll have to show you. One of them saying one thing, one of them saying the other at the same exact time. 10 minutes apart. It's like, are we all here? Is there anybody out there? Hey, Cole. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Lenora. I'm going to shut my camera off for just a second. I'm going to grab something off my cart. Hold on one second. You guys don't have to hold on. I just wanted to turn my camera off for just a second. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Lenora. Hey, Mama Bear. Welcome in, everyone. Hey, Willows. Hey, Kitty Cats. Can't believe it's February 18th. I know. So it's already been 18 days. Yep. Yeah, it's been 18 days. And I mean, 18 days with somebody that somebody you definitely don't want to be around. I don't know who this person is, but they need to bring her back. And the longer the live goes, the angrier I get about that. So just bring her back. It is getting more and more complicated. I think we're going to need like a whiteboard, some string. If anybody can get on the string, I think I have some string around here somewhere, but it's not colorful. We need some colorful string. Hey, Tracy. Hey, KCG. Welcome in, everybody. I think I got everyone. Crystal's all in here with all the pretty emojis. You guys do all the emojis. I can't do them very well on my computer. Like you have to press like weird buttons. I don't know. I can do them good on my phone or on the iPad. That's why you don't really see me ever having emojis in the chat. That's why you guys know my secret. But if you are new to the channel, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Tanya. This is Titanium Built. Welcome on in. Welcome back to the people that come and join me every night. You guys are here. You're the real MVP. So Jet Set, just look for the one that doesn't have the telephone. And that'll be the one that's like horizontal. Willows is listening, but won't be in chat. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, I'm going to push this to the side because that's like just an article that we can read if we want to. Now, if you ask me, are you prepared? I was. I don't know what I was looking for. Oh, okay, this is what I was looking for. We'll go over that. We'll go over this first. This is how many ransom demands can we go through? I think so before we get started, I think everyone knows what's going on with Nancy Guthrie's case, but she's 84 years old. Her daughter is, Savannah Guthrie of the Today Show. It's been all over the airways. I'm sure everyone knows exactly what's been going on. You probably may have been more caught up than I am about this stuff. But there's a new ransom note, ransom letter, ransom email that came into TMZ. Now, I swear to you guys, if I hear another ransom letter coming into TMZ, I'm going to my head's going to explode. And then, so I was listening to earlier, Harvey goes on this show and he's talking. He's like, I'm not talking about no more ransom notes, and this and that and the other. And a couple hours later, he comes out and he says, we got another ransom note. It's like, can you shut your mouth too? I don't know if we're doing good or if we're doing bad for her. I mean, I'm just a little old channel over here. You never know that they could be putting me on every night, just like with TMZ. But TMZ, yeah, they got another demand. I'm like, are we kidding? I don't think I personally don't think that these ransom demands are legit. I never thought they were, but even when the first one came in, and the guy ended up being arrested, I didn't think that one was legit either. And that one was sent to multiple agencies, like news agencies. These ones have just been sent just strictly to TMZ, as far as I know. So, I mean, it is getting them millions of views, or hundreds of thousands at least of views. 414,000. Pretty good views. So, Harvey, what are you going to tell us today, Harvey? So, I mean, at this point, I don't know. I feel like Nancy Guthrie could be underneath his desk and he wouldn't even know it at this point. But what do I know? So let's hear Harvey. And if you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button and all that stuff. Yeah. The tip line, to take that thing down. And then he says, and then he said, he still doesn't look 75. No, he doesn't. He doesn't at all. Yeah, no, I think that if he took the tip line down, then that would, he wouldn't be able to tell remember he told the kidnapper to get a hold of him. He's like, you get a hold of me so we can document it. That way, when you go to the police, we got documentation. No, you just want to show. You just want to show.
The search for Nancy Guthrie
he has made this show pretty successful.
Has gone international. We have learned the FBI has told.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pause him again, but he's like the online National Enquirer.
Told federal Mexican law enforcement to tell various police agencies to be on the lookout for Nancy and her kidnapper. Now, our law enforcement sources are telling us that it is possible they believe that Nancy was taken across the border, but they doubt if she is across the border that it happened directly after the kidnapping. We're told that because we know now that the FBI checked cameras, Border Patrol cameras, and also other various electronic devices. We are asked not to be specific about that, and they have come up dry. There is nothing showing any movement across the border where they suspect Nancy Guthrie was in that car. Now, that said, we're told that she could have been taken at some point after the kidnapping, a day or so later or 2 days later. They just don't know.
You don't know this between your ransom notes? You got 5 of them now, I think. Yeah, 5. This is number 5. This would be number 5.
And obviously,
thank you, Mary Beth. Welcome in, and thank you for gifting out a membership.
There is a way to get across the border undetected. But right now, they have put the word out, and so far, no luck. There is something else. TMZ obtained another ransom note today. This is a highly sophisticated demand involving a form of crypto, not Bitcoin.
What, Euphorium? Like, I mean, what Euphorium? It's the same thing as, they're all the same. What are you talking about? I mean, they're not all the same, but you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be able to do the same with each one.
Now, it is demanding roughly the same amount as the demand letter we received, shortly after the kidnapping, the $6 million demand. It's not exactly that, but it's close to that. The demand graphically describes the consequences.
Hold on. So he's saying, hold on, the ransom demand. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. He's confusing me. You ain't gonna confuse me, Harvey.
Demanding roughly the same amount as the demand letter we received, shortly after the kidnapping.
Okay, yeah, the $6 million demand letter, but was that the guy that was in jail?
$6 million demand. It's not exactly that, but it's close to that. The demand graphically describes the consequences if the demand is not met. It also involves the media, saying that the media essentially becomes a go-between, a trigger, if you will, for getting this ransom money. We have been asked not to be specific about any of that beyond what we've just said. We have forwarded this on to the FBI, and they are looking into it. The email that we received today does not have the same crypto account as the crypto account in that first ransom letter that we received. A couple of other things. We told you yesterday that the FBI went around to various gun stores in the Tucson area with a list of names.
I mean, between thank you, Mary Beth, between the sheriff out there with his 40 pictures going to different gun stores, and then you got Harvey with his 15,000 ransom letters. I'm just like, I mean, when I saw, I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like about to shut this down and be like, what the heck is going on? Like, come on, guys.
names trying to see if anybody on that list bought a gun at any of these shops. We were told, and we told you this yesterday, that the list was created by the people who had purchased a holster similar to the one that the kidnapper was wearing. The FBI had gone to Walmart and other retailers, created this list. We are told that this did not bear fruit, that so far.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Wait, hold on. Hold on. So the FBI, he's saying, got a list of names of people that bought the holster. So instead of just going and getting them 40 people and seeing if maybe one of them has our missing woman, our missing 84-year-old, they instead take the 40 names and go to gun stores to see if any of those 40 names bought a gun. They all bought gun holsters. Of course, they probably bought a gun. Wouldn't you go to the houses, like, of the 40 individual? That's what I would be. FBI on every house, converge. 2 detectives each house. But that makes no sense.
It turned up nothing, that there was no match here of somebody buying a gun and buying that holster, at least from that list.
Buying that gun, what gun? We don't know what kind of gun was used. They probably do, because they got the bullets. So that would even shorten their list even more. That would shorten their 40 names to one. Or a handful, you would think. If it's a certain type of gun holster and a certain type of gun, and we know the gun didn't fit right in the holster, it looked like. So that would be a big light bulb moment.
A couple of other things.
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong case. Sorry, Ashley. Oh my God, I need to go to bed. I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong case. I was thinking of something else. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Ashley. No, that was my mistake. I'm getting my cases mixed up. I've been up for too many days now. Too many appointments, y'all. Thank you, Ashley, for being in here. What bullets? She's like, what bullets? Who got shot? Our lovely Miss Guthrie did not get shot. I'm sorry. I was thinking of 2 other cases as I'm thinking of this case. I was thinking of the Tepe case, and I was thinking of the Mrs. Flynn case we went over last night. I saw Ladybug's comment asking if I went up there, and I hadn't went up there yet.
FBI team, there is a team that is working on just finding people who have bought items similar to the ones the kidnapper is wearing. They actually have a team contacting Walmart and other retailers, and their focus.
It's because we were talking about a gun again too. But yeah, so, and then also Walmart would have names. Like, they would look at that. Okay, so for instance, I don't have 2 of the same thing here, but let's say, like, I have a gun holster. It's going to have a SKU on it, right? So that SKU, Walmart should be able to, like, look into their computer system if it's that, which I'm sure it's that sophisticated. It probably is that sophisticated to be able to look up that SKU number and see who bought it, right? But only if that person purchased it using a credit or a debit card in their name, right? If they used cash, they could probably look up the time and the date and get the little camera that stares at you, when you're in there. I'm sure they could do that. I mean, Walmart's pretty sophisticated when it comes to their tech. Yes, I'm so glad you guys are. If I would have heard that back and someone would have been like, who I should, I'd have been like, oh my goodness, nobody come for me in the comments. I've had 4 appointments in 3 days, and they were all an hour and a half, one way each. So give me a break.
Is finding matches, people who have bought more than one of these items.
We'll keep you on your toes.
A backpack, a jacket, a holster, or anything else. Again, we are told that so far they do not have any real leads on that. So the bottom line, and this is a quote from a law enforcement source, we are shaking the trees looking for clues. So they are doing everything they can. There's one other thing that I was asked to mention, and that is something I know to be true. The FBI is really serious that anybody who is
Right?
trying to get money from the Guthrie family with a phony demand letter is going to spend, as it
Yeah,
was
probably
put
not
to me,
cash.
a long, long time in federal prison. The FBI does not mess around with things like that, and they are laser focused to find both the kidnapper and people who are exploiting the Guthrie family.
And the people that are exploiting the Guthrie family. Did you hear that at the end? Oh, I'm little. And sorry about that. No one's gotten shot. Miss Guthrie, they wouldn't shoot her. No one would shoot Miss Guthrie. I still got good faith in this case. I really do. I mean, I'm not the sheriff, on the other hand. I don't know about him. Who's letting him talk? Like, I know he's the sheriff, right? I guess, I mean, no, I mean, I guess no one could tell him not to, but the FBI could be like, hey, right? So actually, and I won't read the whole article, but I will just give you like a little synopsis of it. The police chief, Chief Fry from the Idaho 4 case with, with Brian Koberger, was talking about, he admits to like some mistakes that they had made. And they kind of compared his investigation. He kind of compared it to this investigation about how high profile it was and how, FBI kind of comes in. I know that Chief Fry, though, like the second press conference they had, he already had media training by that point. They had brought someone in like after the first press conference and was like, oh, no, no, no. Mr. Chief, you got to learn how to talk to a room and not, I guess, like hold a room, be able to like hold your presence in a room. And I don't know. I remember him coming out afterwards and doing an interview, and it was like a heartfelt interview. Oh yeah. I'll get me some rest tonight because I'm going to sleep in tomorrow, you guys. No, I was just thinking of too many cases at once. I really was. I was thinking of 2 or 3 at the same time. Don't do that to me. I was going back up in the chat and reading comments, but I haven't made it there yet. I'm going, before we go to the next one, I will let you know though, real quick. Tepe, I'm going to try to go up there sometime next week. And Tip City, I'm going to go there sometime in the next couple of days. So yeah, we're going to get up there. We're going to talk to the people. I'm going to try to talk to the people. We'll see. So, Google Trends, I can't remember what case it was. It might have been the Tepe murders. Might have been their case where there was people saying that they were like, people were Google trending, like, searching them. And I showed you guys like that there wasn't any trends during that time. Well, this time I thought it was going to be like the same thing. Like, I thought I was going to come over here and be like, there was no Google Trends, like, in this case, but I can't say that. So, I saw on X today, somebody was talking about how the words Savannah Guthrie's like net worth or salary and the address to Nancy Guthrie's home were both Google, like they both shot on Google Trends, which you only need to have to search it one time to land on Google Trends. And I learned that today. I didn't know that. So I went over to, my computer and I was like, oh, really? Google Trends? Because, I wasn't believing at first. I was like, oh, we're doing this again. So I went over. It's been a long time. So I went back like 3 months. And then, so what I saw was when that person said that they were on Google Trends, I saw that Fox Crime retweeted it. And I'm like, okay, there's no picture that's showing me a Google Trends. There's no, it's just someone typed it up. And I'm like, anybody can type up something on X. So I went to Google Trends and I was like, what's going on? What's happening? So there's not like a whole lot. I mean, it could be a lot. It could be nothing. It could be something. It could be nothing. But for Nancy, or not Nancy, I'm sorry. Savannah Guthrie over the past, did I do a year? Yeah, I went back a year. There was only one, which is weird. I thought there'd be more than one, but there was only one on her name. These are just like different ones I was searching, like different names like different ways to put it in. And this is all the way down in 2026. So this is the only time since January 24th through January. Okay, hold on. So no. Like February 7th, January 31st to February 7th, 22 times, 100 times. But then it looks like back here one time, May 17th through May 24th. Wonder if these align. I didn't check to see if they aligned with the house. They don't. So then I went and I searched her address, and it's 5820 North Camino Escalante or something like that. And she was looked up August 2nd through August the 9th, 55 times that was looked up. And I'll show you that. There we go. So this is where it shot up. Now, I mean, maybe was there somebody like a pool guy or a lawn care person or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something. But like, was that somebody that was looking at their house? Perhaps. I mean, it's 55 times is a big amount. Was she going to maybe sell her house at this time? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she ever intended on selling, but what would you think? 55 times. I mean, I don't know if I could tell about. Oh, is it? Oh, if it's Algeria as a country or Algeria as it's a country, Algeria in North Africa. Algeria. Well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Oh, she put her house on the market in October, but it came right back off. Oh, I was wondering. Yeah, I think it's somebody close to the family too. I don't see a stranger doing this. I don't know. I just don't see that. I really don't. You'd have to know she lived by herself. Like, I don't know, I mean, we're on another case we are covering where there was maybe, we don't know in that case either, a home invasion. But home invasions don't really normally happen in the middle of the night. Like, well, they normally don't happen at all. Like, that's not a big thing. Normally people break into houses between 10 and 3 is what we found out, because they like it when people are not at home. I can see that. So Nancy's been like a dog with the bone with this case. That Nancy, I was going to put her up tonight. I forgot my old Nancy Grace cardboard cutout. I have to do that next live when we have her on. Oh, dang it. Someone probably put overlays up so you won't be able to see me. But yeah, I do have a Nancy cardboard cutout. Although sometimes she is wrong and I get upset with her when she is. But she did a 32-minute video. I think it was 30. Yeah, I think it was 32 minutes. Yeah. And she's been doing like day 17, day 18 or whatever. Well, she did her day 18 already and it was posted earlier tonight, like on her page. But then she did an extra video. So that's what we're going to watch is the extra one. Because like the extra video isn't on YouTube yet. So as far as I know, it wasn't on there an hour ago. But it just says Search Moves International for Nancy Guthrie. And I will put up pictures as we watch it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go check her page real quick. Swear Nancy. Okay, she hasn't. Because I was just going to say there is a part in the video that she talks about. It's at the end. It's towards the end, so I'll make sure that you see it. But that you hear it. But she says something about him having a ring on. And I'm like, what is she even talking about? He has on gloves. I can't see through those black gloves. Maybe you guys can. Maybe you guys have seen it. I don't know. Yeah, she does need care. She's 84. For God's sakes, just let her live out her life. You know what I mean? Like, what? I don't know what an 84-year-old. I don't even know what her kids could have done. You know what I mean? Like, there's not like tomorrow. I'm going to kidnap you in the middle of the night and bring you out of the house bleeding. Like, I don't like that. Okay, I was in this earlier. Okay, I think I'm going to turn it down and then I'll turn it up. Okay, let me
high resilience
fast forward this.
This February, Aldous Hodge returns an episode dropping weekly, now streaming only on
back tested against the S&P 500. Then you can invest.
This is Radhi Jablukia from using all those little muscles that make me feel stronger. The more
breaking news, Savannah got
10% off. That's ALTRA running.com. Experience Ultra and stay out there.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Breaking news, Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, missing day 18. This as another threatening, much more threatening ransom note is received. And we learn, contrary to what Sheriff Nano said just 24 short hours ago, the search has extended into Mexico. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. Tonight, we are learning the search has extended into Mexico. This as another ransom note has been received. This ransom note offers a different Bitcoin address than the others. It is also much, much more menacing. Joining me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now, to Andrew Black joining us, former special agent in charge of the Tucson office of the FBI, 27 years with the FBI, former felony prosecutor in Chicago, never a lack of business there, currently chief of University of Hawaii Department of Public Safety. Andrew Black, thank you for being with us. What do you make of the FBI now stating they are venturing into Mexico? They are asking Mexico to share information.
It indicates to me that they've got new leads. So many leads have come in. And did you know the FBI also put out a stern warning against people fabricating kidnapping notes or ransoming notes, excuse me. These things take time to run down, and it takes energy and resources from the task force trying to locate Nancy Guthrie. So these types of leads just add to the workload of those on the ground trying to find her. And I suspect this venture into Mexico is based on additional leads that they've received, including information in one of the ransom notes.
As of right now, I believe it is around 40,000 tips that law enforcement has received. I'm sure at least half of those are bogus. If you want to see what type of tips are coming in, just go online. Take a look at Twitter and take a look at all of the zany theories. Now, on the other hand, some pretty good ideas are surfacing as well. There is a theory right now still, and I'm sure the FBI and local law enforcement is besieged with theories about botched robbery. So can we just put that to sleep now? As in euthanasia, that put to sleep? This is not a botched robbery. This is not a burglary gone wrong. Andrew Black, in a nutshell, why do you believe that Nancy Guthrie was not a random victim?
No, I'm glad you're emphasizing that, because all the indications and the task force working this case, they believe they're working a targeted victim in Nancy, that based on the MO of the individual, he was suited up from head to toe, concealing his identity. He had a backpack. It looked like it was filled with gear. It does not have any of the earmarkings of a robbery or a crime of opportunity. This looks like it was planned. And we do know there's an abduction. Past that, it's very difficult to say what we have following all these ransom notes, that one was, definitely proved to be a hoax, individuals being prosecuted, and these others that keep rolling in to TMZ and other outlets.
When you say it's not a robbery, obviously the guy's bringing in a ton of stuff. His backpack is stuffed to the gills with robberies. You take things out. You don't carry them in. And let me go out to Josh Colesrud, veteran criminal defense attorney, former felony prosecutor, now founder of Colesrud Law Offices. Josh, I've never seen a burglar or a robber. And the difference is a robber robs from an individual. A burglary is when someone enters a dwelling or business without consent with the intent to commit a felony therein. That felony could be theft. That felony could be or ag assault. The felony could be a number of things, but typically a burglary is unlawful entry with intent to commit a theft.
Yeah.
And when the burglar, and this is statistically overwhelmingly true, when the burglar comes in and sees a person, they're like, and leave. They don't want contact with the victim. They don't want to be identified. They want to come in and steal and leave, or come in and rape and leave. And if they do see a victim, they either hightail it or they kill the victim so they cannot be identified. It's 2 + 2 = 4.
Exactly. And Arizona actually distinguishes a burglary of an occupied structure versus a burglary of an unoccupied structure. Now, you can look at the FBI statistics about how infrequent, in fact, there has never been a recorded case where there's been a burglary gone wrong, where the burglary suspects end up kidnapping an elderly woman and keeping her alive. It's a unicorn. It just doesn't happen. And we know that she was alive when she left because the blood trail led to the door and then suddenly just stopped. Like they were putting their hand over her mouth. And there's no indication, no signs and symptoms that this was a burglary gone wrong. So we do need to look at motive here. And it's good that we can cross this motive off. Now we have to look at, was this based on money? Was this based on something else? And only once we determine motive can we kind of narrow down who the suspects may be.
To Scott Eicher joining us. He is a founding member of the CAST Cellular Analysis Survey Team at the FBI. 22 years, also a former homicide detective with Norfolk Police, now with Precision Cellular Analysis. Scott, you and I have seen so many cases, prosecuted, investigated cases. I don't mean just talk about them, I mean prosecute them. When a burglary goes wrong, that means somebody's home when the burglar goes in and they leave. Why in the world would a burglar or robber decide, I'll just take the victim with me? Yes, she's 84 and she has a hard time walking, but no problem. It's ridiculous. Burglary, robbery gone wrong. What a waste of breath.
I totally agree on that. And most burglars are trying to get quickly in and then out. They want to grab what is valuable and then get out of that house as soon as possible. They do make mistakes, and every once in a while go in when there's someone else in the house. But you're right, and I totally agree. It's very random that they would hurt the person in the house. They're more want to get away from the scene as soon as possible because they're going to, call the cops on them and stuff like that.
We also know when you're looking at this timeline, there was a 2:00 event, as I have mentioned several times, where her heart monitor spikes, or so we have been told. That's around 2 a.m., which makes me wonder if that's the first time.
I didn't know that it spiked. I think that's when her heart rate, or her heart monitor, her heart pacemaker was disconnected from her phone.
She sees the perp. Then 2:12.
I'll get that timeline up.
Software detects the person on a camera, 2:28. But by now, the door camera has already been disconnected. Okay, I want to talk about DNA. Dave Mack. How many more times can we say it? The DNA on the random glove found about 1.5 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home, thrown to the side of the street, did not get a CODIS hit. That's the Combined DNA Data Bank, the National Data Bank.
Okay. Sometimes, no. So at 2:12, the camera software detects a person. At 2:28, the pacemaker app shows disconnect from phone. Nancy got that wrong. Nancy, the thing is though, if you got that wrong, you could have corrected it because you had the time. It sounded like you had the time. You know what I'm talking about, I can't think of it, the timeline right in front of you because you started reading off of it after you said that. So I don't know.
Correct.
Right.
It did not get a CODIS hit. You're
Okay,
correct.
Nancy, we'll just correct you.
Okay, which means, if you follow that through, the DNA in the home was not connected to that glove, and the DNA in the home did not get a CODIS hit. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's not all of it, but it's correct.
Okay. What do you mean by not all of it?
Well, there was also a partial DNA collected inside of the home. That partial DNA was sent to the Florida lab, just like the DNA found on the glove and the other DNA found in the house. The difference here is that it is a partial DNA profile, and they have yet to, the people in Florida at the lab have yet to develop it out where it could be checked in CODIS. So that partial DNA that they've developed from inside the home has not yet been subjected to a CODIS hit because it is a partial DNA.
Dave Mack, you're right. And I appreciate the way you said that.
You could put a partial in. You're just going to get more names back.
Because some reporters have stated there was a partial DNA profile and it didn't get a hit at CODIS. The reality is CODIS is a national data bank. It's very, very strict on what DNA profiles, what DNA it will even accept to enter into the data bank. Unlike the data bank there in Arizona.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Introducing Anabay sofas, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design. Don't compromise quality.
Assets, which allow you to turn any uncapped 1% bonus.
And I said, that's exactly right.
But the one thing that can really ruin that is when my
meaningfulbeauty.com.
grounded and balanced.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Joining me right now is a DNA specialist. It is Susanna Ryan out of Redlands, California, lab director, forensic DNA analyst at Pure Gold Forensics. She is a forensic DNA consultant at Ryan Forensics, 25 years experience in forensic DNA and serology. Susanna, thank you for being with us. Explain what we are talking about right now, how difficult the high standard there is to get DNA into the data bank, CODIS, as opposed to the Arizona data bank, which I believe is much more likely to yield a hit.
Right. So there definitely are different guidelines, and it's much more stringent, much more difficult to get a profile into the national DNA database. You have to, you might be able to get a partial profile in, but it has to have a certain number of what we call the core CODIS loci. So you have to have results at least 8 of those original 13 loci. It can't be too much of a mixture.
Wait, a certain number of core CODIS what?
Yeah, loci or locations. So we used to look at 13. That was our goal for getting a profile into CODIS. That has since been extended to 20 loci or locations. And the reason for that is we have so many profiles in the database, we needed to start looking at more locations to make the rarity of the profile even greater, because we don't want to get a false hit or an adventitious match.
Susanna,
yes.
When you are saying loci and you're talking about locations, you need, once it's 14, now it's 20. I'm in my mind comparing this to hits on a fingerprint where you have, let's just say, 10 points of in identical nature. You only need a certain number for it to be a match. Is that what you're calling a loci?
Yeah, that's a fairly good comparison. It's basically different areas on the DNA molecule. We are not testing the whole molecule. We're picking certain areas that are known to vary greatly between people. So that way we can differentiate between people by just looking at these particular areas. We don't have to try to test the entire DNA molecule.
Okay, so I'm trying to get a layperson's understanding of what you're saying. So you have to have now 20 loci, 20 eccentricities about the DNA to make it different and easily identifiable?
So that's the goal. That's if you had a single source profile, you had a reference sample, you are required to have all 20 of those areas to put it into CODIS. If you're talking about a forensic sample, the requirements are not as strict. You can have less than that, but you still have to have a certain number of locations or this information, and it has to meet what we call a rarity index. It has to be more rare than what the size of the database is, because if it's not, you could have a false hit. It could match against someone that is in the database but is not actually your perpetrator. And that's specifically the national database. So you're correct that the Arizona database, that is going to have less stringent requirements because there are less people in the database.
So tell me, what is in the AZ database that is not allowed in the national database?
Well, we have arrestees in the Arizona database. Not all states allow for arrestees to be entered into the database. Now, this would be particular individuals arrested of a very particular felonies. There'll be legislation defining, who is eligible for upload into the Arizona database. You could have forensic unknowns.
Like who? Who gets in?
So I don't know the specific requirements for the state of Arizona, but it's going to be, it's not going to be someone that's, picked up for some misdemeanor offense. It's going to be particular violent felony offenses that a person who has simply been arrested for this crime and not yet convicted, their profile can go into that Arizona database. Another thing that Arizona has that not very many states have is the ability to do familial searching. And so sometimes when people hear that, they think, oh, we're talking about genetic genealogy, but this is totally different. This is the ability to search the Arizona database for a near match. So we've already searched. We know that we don't have a hit on this DNA profile, but let's look for someone who is closely related, maybe a brother or a father. And Arizona is one of only 12 or 13 states that allow for that sort of searching. So I hope that they do conduct that. That's not something that's automatically done. That's something that has to be requested. So hopefully they will have that conducted, because that opens up the database for a whole new category of individuals.
Guys, you're hearing Susanna Ryan speaking about her line of expertise, DNA. Another question. We now know the FBI has reached its tentacles into Mexico. Is there an international DNA database, Susanna?
There is the Interpol database. So that is, I think it's over 80 countries that are part of Interpol, where they will upload qualifying DNA profiles, mostly, unsolved cases like this or other felony cases. And I believe there are over 280,000 profiles in the Interpol database. Mexico does participate in that program.
Wait, how many did you say?
Over 280,000 profiles.
Wow, in the Interpol database, and that includes Mexico.
It does. Now, I will say that Mexico, in general, they do have a DNA database, but it's not on the same level as our CODIS combined DNA index system database. A lot of what they're focusing on in Mexico is identifying missing persons, or if they have unidentified remains. That's a lot more of their focus than the criminal investigative side, and it's not all connected at a national level at this point.
Wow. Okay. And very quickly, I want to talk to you about how DNA is obtained at a scene, for instance, through UV lighting, causing the DNA, well, does it cause the DNA to fluoresce? But when you look at DNA left on a scene, it fluoresces. And you need near dark or complete dark, or you could use goggles that are tinted red, yellow, or orange to block out light. How does that work?
Right. So what you're referring to is sometimes we use something called an alternate light source, and that helps us identify things like saliva. Those sort of body fluids will fluoresce. Unfortunately, other types of DNA, especially touch or skin cell DNA, does not fluoresce. I wish it did. I wish there was a way for us to, be able to just see it by some, invention like that. But what we have to do is use our best educated guess as to what would have been contacted. Where did this person have to touch to enter the house, for example? Is there anything moved in the home that it looks like this person contacted? And I would imagine that they are focusing on items like that, especially as you pointed out, with him touching this perpetrator. He's got a flashlight in his mouth that he's moving around, that he's probably touching. So even though he's wearing gloves, that does not mean he's not transferring his DNA into that house.
And saliva is so DNA rich. He touches it multiple times. He touches the holster of the gun multiple times. Then he reaches out to the doorknob. And we were discussing earlier, Susanna, how the home was found with the front door unlocked and all the lights on in the front of the house, which is not Nancy Guthrie's routine. He turned on the light switch. He probably turned on the light switch in Nancy's room or touched her doorknob, which would be an excellent conduit for saliva DNA. It just takes a trace amount. So I guess you're saying that with certain DNA, such as saliva, sperm, urine, you would use the alternate light source. But for touch DNA, it does not fluoresce, so you would swab the likely suspects, the doorknob, light switch, furniture, something that's been moved in the home. Do I have it so far?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Speaking of the gun, straight out to Andrew Black, joining us, former special agent in charge of the Tucson FBI office. Let's talk about the gun. Oh, wait, I've got to show you a picture. Hold on. Apparently, our perp wears a pinky ring. Take a look at this. We've zoomed in on, there you go. Look at that, Andrew Black. That's his right hand. I have analyzed and got multiple other people to analyze. Was it his ring finger? But it appears to be pinky.
See, I don't know what she's talking about in this. I don't know what picture she's talking about. I mean, it has to be one of these, but he has gloves on. I'm not seeing what she's seeing, so you'll have to wait until she puts the full video out, I guess. We'll all have to wait.
Look at that.
Very stylish.
Look at the shape of that. Hey, move out just a little bit more. Do you guys agree this is the pinky? At first, I thought it would be the ring finger. Move out a little bit more. Move out a little bit more so we can see the full hand. Yeah. Okay, what do you think, Andrew?
That's a tough one for me. If they're saying it's on the pinky, then it is a pinky ring and he has some sort of style or flair. Obviously, he doesn't have that same flair in his approach to committing a home invasion as we saw in the video that we're looking at right now. The gun, that appears to be a semi-automatic weapon. As you can see, the handle, there's no hammer. It's and it looks like there's a magazine at the end of it. The holster is really strange. I haven't seen one like that. That appears to be a revolver. And you can see there's a snap going over where the hammer would be on a revolver. So it's a really unusual and unprofessional method for carrying really any type of weapon in front of your groin like this. But placing a semi-automatic weapon, which could slide out quite easily in a revolver holster, is unprofessional to say the least, and awkward.
Could you very slowly go through again what you said for those listening that are not gun aficionados? You started with saying it is a revolver holster. Now, please explain your reasoning.
Okay, there are two basic handguns. There's a revolver, which has a cylinder, and each time the trigger is pulled or squeezed, the cylinder turns, the hammer comes back, and then it hits the back of the casing of the chambered round in the cylinder. A semi-automatic pistol like we see here, the firing mechanism is different. The rounds of ammunition are not in a cylinder, they're in the handle of the gun in what is called a magazine. That's where you load the rounds of ammunition. And rather than an exposed hammer coming back, very typically, a semi-automatic pistol will not have a visible hammer. There are certain models, but this is not one of them. As you can see, it's flat. And so this is a weapon. You can see there's a black strap that should be over the revolver, if this was a revolver, securing the hammer. Here we have a semi-automatic pistol loosely sticking into this revolver holster, and it's not what it was intended for. Doesn't mean it can't work. It's working here, but it's an awkward way to carry a weapon.
Like I said, who would ever put a gun between their legs, especially a man? I mean,
this is a semi-automatic.
I wouldn't, and I'm a woman. You know what I mean? Like, that to me just seems very dangerous. Very dangerous. Well, Laura, don't mind me when I said, gun. Because, I'd be tired. But I'm actually starting to wake up now.
Weapon.
Look at that.
Now, what more can you tell about the gun? Many people think it's a Walther.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that because of the graininess of the picture. I don't want to commit to saying it's one model over another. And there are various models of Walther, but that's the popular belief. Walther or a similar type, which is a smaller type of handgun, easily concealable. That's what James Bond carries, one version of the gun that he carries. And yeah, definitely semi-automatic. Can't say for sure myself that it is a Walther, but it resembles one. And this helps. And that may be why one of the leads we've heard about is the
I mean, yeah, you can kind of see. If you're a gun enthusiast, I bet you could tell what kind of gun that is.
purchase of Walther weapons at gun stores in the area. So this is a positive lead to follow up on, of course, along with the unusual holster he's using.
Andrew Black, what did you say about James Bond?
James Bond carried a Walther P, similar type of weapon in the movies. And that's the manufacturer, apparently, of this weapon, or what experts are saying. I can't identify it for sure, but that's what I've read.
Okay, I'm just going on a limb here, right? Okay. Have they, do you guys know if Walmart, I know they sell long guns, but do they carry handguns at the old Walmart? I guess I could have Googled it. Walmart have handguns in Arizona. We'll say Arizona. I mean, No, Walmart does not sell handguns in Arizona or any other state, except for a few select locations in Alaska. Okay, well then never mind. I was going to say, because maybe he just bought his outfit, the gun, and everything at the old Walmart. I thought maybe. I knew they had, thanks, Ashley. I thought they had long guns, but like I know ours carries long guns. But you could buy holsters, yeah. I was thinking maybe he bought the gun and everything at the same time.
From what's being reported on type of weapon suspected of.
I cannot identify it either. Many people have speculated it is a Walther.
A Walther isn't that doesn't look like a revolver to me. So it's a semi-automatic. So that means that if he did use that weapon anywhere in the vicinity of that house, they would be able to find shell casings. I mean, if, that was revolvers, they keep them.
To Scott Eicher, what do you believe the FBI can do with this, or law enforcement?
You know what? Laura, you know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, those little pellet guns, they have like that little orange tip, and you're supposed to keep the orange tip on the end because that way it's a pellet gun. We used to sell those when I worked at the old Dunham's. Remember I told you guys about that place last night? We used to sell those, and they looked so freaking real. Like if my nephew had one, actually, it was as heavy as a damn gun. He handed it to me one time and I thought it was a gun. 1,000% I thought it was. I thought this is like a 9mm gun I'm holding right now. I was like, I'm going to kill you. Like, where did you get this? You know, like I was freaking out, but he's like, no, it's just a, you know, pellet gun. They just took the thing off because they're dummies.
Identify the type of gun, because I believe guns are like cars. And I've worked with the car theft division at APD, Atlanta Police Department, and they're brilliant. They can look at a car coming a block away and go, oh, yeah, that's a 1995 Toyota Camry. Like, how do you know that? Because they do it all day long. Like, I can look at a police report and say, oh, this is aggravated assault, this is kidnapping, this is blah, 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 blah. That's what you can prove from this one page of a police report. They can look at a car and tell me what the make, model, and year is. There are people that can look at a gun and do pretty much the same.
Yes, there's experts all around the world that are very good at visually identifying a weapon. Now, as Andrew said, this is grainy photo. We don't see the whole weapon itself. So, I mean, I suggest that a lot of people are just making their best estimate of or guess of what this is, but we don't know for sure. Obviously, you know, the gun store visits are helpful, and hopefully we can maybe narrow down suspects by going to the gun stores and hopefully find someone that purchased that type of semi-automatic weapon. We've got a lot of things to go on, and it's a lot of work to go to all the gun stores and all the Walmarts, because we're looking for who bought or people that bought the type of holster. I agree with Andrew in the aspect that holster is not made for that gun, and that probably will.
I mean, do they have to drive to all the Walmarts? Can't they just like call them and ask them over the phone?
Allow that gun to very easily slip out of that holster.
Back to Dave Mack joining us.
Oh, and another thing, I think, Ashley, you're right. I mean, if he's going to buy a cheap-ass holster, right, he probably ain't got a very expensive whoopsie. Probably doesn't have a very expensive gun. Unless he just doesn't know the value of one. Like maybe, you know, someone bought it off the street for a lot cheaper than what, you know, it would be like in a store. I don't know.
Investigative reporter. Now another missive has been received by Harvey Levin over at TMZ. It's much more threatening.
Oh, that was it. You son of a gun. I didn't watch the last 3 minutes. I didn't know she was going to cut us off like that, like she used to. Fine, Nancy. We'll have to watch the rest of your episode tomorrow. Let me get me big again and turn my camera back on. And then we'll figure out what's next. But yeah, she just cut us off like that. How rude. I do have that cardboard cutout in the closet. Don't make me get it out, put it together to yell at it. She's so good. That's what she does. That's what she does now. She cuts it off so that you will go and watch her tomorrow. Well, I think it's tomorrow. So yeah. So I don't know about this share. I swear to God. Like what? Like it's not funny, but it is. It's like almost like who called him Barney in here? Yeah, someone did. Someone called him Barney, and that's like perfect. Actually, I think Barney might have had more wits to him. Just gonna say it. Someone called him Barney though. I thought that was pretty funny. He just been giving everybody different, like, I don't know, different. He's telling one person one thing and then telling another person another thing. I don't know, but we usually follow Brian Enton around here, and we're going to stick with Brian. But I guess Matt Finn, who is another journalist, which I don't want to take away from him. But I swear, Enton, if you're wrong about this, So basically, Brian goes on to News Nation and he talks about what the lie detector tests were used as, like used for, right? So I don't think you guys seen this. Maybe you guys have. It was like right before the live started. So maybe you guys have 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, maybe not. So maybe you guys have. Oh, it said breaking news. Did you see that? There is nothing breaking news in this case right now. I mean, this is like, unless, I mean, a fifth ransom, unless you think a fifth, ransom letter is breaking news. We want Nancy back. That's breaking news. Okay. So he's going to talk to Brian and we're going to see what they have to say.
Where we just did learn that polygraphs, these lie detector tests, have been used to clear people in the Guthrie case. And when I say we've learned it, I mean, Brian Enton has learned it, our senior national correspondent who's back live with us from Tucson. So tell us about this, Brian.
He probably did, Casey. I think he only likes giving out interviews to the local reporters because they feed into his bullcrap.
Yeah, so it's essentially what you said. Sources confirmed to me that they have used polygraph tests and continue to use polygraph tests, which are lie detector tests. They hook you up to a machine and monitor your levels to see if, essentially see if you're lying. It's not a perfect science. It doesn't always stand up in a court of law, but they can sort of use it on the back end of investigations, which I'm told they are using in the Nancy Guthrie case to clear people who they think may have been involved, that they just want to make sure, had nothing to do with it. So that is new. In addition to what we also learned today, that the FBI is now communicating with authorities in Mexico, which again is very close. I'm only 50, 60 miles from where I'm standing outside Nancy's house. There's now a joint line of communication between the FBI and Mexican authorities involving the Nancy Guthrie case.
Were any family members, do you know? Because I know they've been cleared polygraph in all of this. I was just thinking that while you reported it.
So I don't have specifics on who, but I think broadly, yes. I mean, I think they are using that tool to clear people, and we know that the sheriff has said that the family has been cleared. Right. So I think that we would be fair to say that based on putting those two things together, that likely yes.
Thank you for watching.
Swear to God, Cuomo. Why does he have to do that to us every time, Cuomo? Stop screaming at us. Whoever the producers, it's your wife. Tell your wife to turn your sound down. It's his wife. At least at the 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock hour on his hour it is anyway. She's one of the producers or something. She does like something with the control room. Okay, so we just heard Brian Enton report that they're using these from his source, which I'm going to start having sources too. And my sources are going to be Mia and Araya and Rocky. But his source told him that they're using these, lie detector tests to, clear people, which I would think that sounds about right. Well, then we have Fox News, right? So we have this guy, his name is Matt Finn. And he's with Fox News. I looked him up. And he says, Sheriff Nanos tells me the polygraphs today were for new hires. Meaning like new hires in the sheriff department. It says, but Enton told us they were about Nancy. It's like, it's almost to the point where I'm like, it was 10 minutes apart. I swear to you guys. I was getting ready to come on the live. This was at 50 minutes and it was at the hour. An hour had just passed when Enton was on the air. And this was at 50 minutes, literally 10 minutes apart. So can we all huddle in and like at least get our story straight, news guys? Because I mean, this guy right here is saying Sheriff Nanos told me they were for new hires. Is this a pissy match? Because I hope it's not. An 84-year-old woman is missing. This sheriff, yeah, Jen. They are, Renee. I think they are. I feel like I'm on a tilt-a-whirl. I feel like Seth Rogers on the tilt-a-whirl. I feel like I spun in this chair as fast as I could, and then I stood up. Like, when I read these today, like, I was like, what? What? Because if you follow Fox News and Matt Finn, handsome guy, you might not follow our handsome guy at Brian Enton over at News Nation. I'm not saying he's wrong. That made it sound like I was saying that he was wrong, but I really wasn't saying that. No, because he might be right. I don't know, but our Brian doesn't do anything wrong. Have Joe Kenda, yeah. Could. He's already solved over 500, 400, 500 murders. I love him. And he's like me. I used to be like this. Now I'm not. Like, obviously, look at me. But I used to not be a big fan of like eating because I always felt like I was in like a hurry to do something. Like, I don't have time to eat. I'm doing this, but I still do that. But I still eat. Obviously, look at me. But he was like that too. He didn't like to eat, and his wife used to make him eat. Yeah. See, Renee, I wish they would just come out and like maybe tell us a little something, give like the FBI maybe. I know they won't. They don't have to. It's not their damn job. But this is like a circus. This is like a little bit different. This is even different than this is as bad as Idaho. Like, I'm trying to think like the sheer volume of people that are talking about it, I feel like. And like maybe not the conspiracy. No, the conspiracies they're trickled into both. I like him now. Yeah, they need to stop being so quiet over there. Yeah, I mean, lie detectors, I guess they would be good to, just kind of see how the person is going to act when asked to give one, right? I mean, I know that I would fail one whether I was telling the truth or if I wasn't telling the truth. Like, I'm one of those, I have high anxiety type of people. And they say that if you're like real anxious and stuff, and you're like, my blood pressure goes up in like a matter of seconds. Like, I can tell you when my blood pressure is going to be high, and you're not supposed to be able to feel that kind of stuff. But I can tell you when I go to the dentist and I'm running through the halls to get to the dentist. And then I'm like there and I'm like anxiousy. I get anxious to be at the dentist. My blood pressure's through the roof. I'll start using that for stuff. Yeah. Joe K. Yeah. Joe. Yep. I remember that. That was one of his like old episodes. He said that in there. And I remember him saying that. And I was like, because he said that and I was like, me too. Me too. But now I'll be loving to eat. What else did I want to show you guys? Oh gosh. Let's see. Did I make myself small? I did. Didn't mean to do that. Make myself bigger. There's Nancy's page. I was looking at that earlier. What is this from the 60s? It says, I was reading this as sheriff leading Nancy Guthrie search. I was trying to find stuff about the son-in-law. Says search understands interest in her son-in-law, Tommaso Signoni. I think I said that wrong. I'll just read it to you real quick. Just this part. The sheriff leading the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's mysterious disappearance has acknowledged the interest in her son-in-law, Tommaso, as a potential suspect. However, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos also said that he and his team don't want to put a mark on somebody who could be completely innocent. And this came out February 16th. If he is guilty, if he's the one who did it, and we're able to prove that, then at that time, jump on it. But don't come out of nowhere with this, Nanos told the Daily Mail on Sunday regarding Annie Guthrie's husband. Oh, okay. So yeah, like prove it. Like if you're able to prove it, like then give us that information. But if not, okay, I understand what he's saying. Kind of what he's trying to say. This is going to be his, like, I swear he always looks like he's giving a hug in every picture. Or like every interview. Like his arms are like this. Let me show you. Like, I don't know who he's trying to give a hug to, but he ain't giving me no hug. You ain't giving me your bad juju. and button up that other button. I understand that pundits, why would we use words like this? Okay. They're going to say, well, he's the last one to see her alive. So I guess we could say we can all agree that he took her home. We understand that stuff, Nana's continued. But my goodness, you're putting a mark on someone who could be completely innocent, and more importantly than that, he's a family. Just says that he was the subject of early speculation. I mean, that's a big old beard, bros and gals. Is this the same beard he has? Because there ain't no way. That guy that's in the mask, his mask is tight as crap. I would think that you would see that, wouldn't you? It's weird. I don't think it's anybody that's close to her. I think that it would be the dumbest thing in the world, which, I mean, criminals are dumb. I say that all the time. It would be beyond dumb to, like, I mean, if he was going to kill anybody, like, to kill your mother-in-law, like, and you're the last person to see her, I mean, like, they're going to come look for you first. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't be a good look. I don't think that anybody, I don't think the masked person, I personally don't think that none of us know who it is. Because if we knew who it was, the FBI would surely know who it was, right? Like, we're not smart. I'm not smarter. I don't know nothing. You know what I mean? The FBI is smarter than me. Than the one in the pic. Well, this is him right here. So, well, this one's longer than this one. This one is like shorter than this one. And it's not as, like, see, it's not as gray right there. So it must have been maybe a different picture, like a different, like, time. I was just looking at the pictures. I'm over here looking in the back, like, is anybody looking at them? I wonder if the person that took Nancy, like, I wonder if it could have been somebody that, like, knew them from the Today Show and had seen them, like, you know, together on the show multiple times. But I don't see somebody just, like, sitting at home, like, being like, let's kidnap that lady, you know, like, look at her dog. Like, I don't know. You don't think of news anchors as having millions of dollars. I didn't. Other than I knew what Nancy was worth. But Nancy Guthrie is worth more than Nancy Grace. I'm pretty sure. Let me check Nancy Guthrie. Or not Nancy Guthrie. I mean Savannah Guthrie. Let me check her income. Now it's really going to be out there in the Google Trends. I'm curious. She's 40 million. So I think Nancy's worth 25. Now I'm going to look. $25. Wow. Nancy, work smarter, not harder. What are you doing, honey? Get someone else on a show, like to do your show or something. Boss them around. Be the camera person. That'd be great for you. Oh my God, would that be a hilarious show? If Nancy was the producer and then she had some young girl that, like, you know, some young cute girl like doing her show, and then she'd be yelling at her because she'd be like, you're doing it wrong. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny. I'm trying to get Nancy back out there. So they're testing stuff for DNA, and they're testing, like, they said that they have some DNA that's a partial. I just remember back in Idaho, them flying the DNA over to Idaho and having it back to, or like flying it from Pennsylvania to Idaho and getting a result and all that within like 24 hours. So it could be done. I don't know why they're it's kind of been kind of slow. We're on 18 days. Can you guys imagine yourself at your age that you are now? And I'm sure none of you are 84, but imagine yourself right now at your age and imagine being somewhere that kidnapped somewhere. Just not even kidnapped. Just think about somewhere you don't want to be for 18 days, like a family member's house or something. And then just think of like, I mean, I can't even put myself in that position to think about 18 days away from my family, my loved ones. And then if she were hearing the Instagrams, you know, especially that last one with Savannah, I mean, you know. Yeah, if you're a felon, you can't have a firearm. Oh. You screenshot the charges. Oh, that's something I was going to tell you guys about. That I screenshotted some stuff. I have to do that on my second channel. Screenshotted some things. I don't know who the one. I wish we knew who that was in that mask. Anybody? No? Is it Brian Koberger? No. I think they're just building, maybe building a case, or I mean, maybe the FBI is. I pray the FBI, and they usually are doing their thing. You know, they're doing their thing, but they don't have like control over the DNA and stuff right now. Like that's Sheriff Nanos is doing. He sent that to Florida to a private lab. So I don't know what they would be really working on. Plus, they don't have the lead on this case. So what actually would they be working on? Would they continue to work like behind this sheriff's back? Or would they say, we're just waiting for him to tell us what to do? I mean, he doesn't look like the type of guy that's going to be handing out orders to anybody on a Monday morning. Monday morning quarterback. Oh, a Monday morning quarterback. That like, what? No, we're not even going to say that. Yeah, I know if they do what they want, but like, I mean, if it's not their case though, like technically their case, do they have to be like, hey, we're coming in anyway? I mean, they could, but then Sheriff Nanos would probably come out here and cry. They took my spot, my parking spot and my desk. Hey, what you dreaming about back here, partner? Sorry, my producer's back here. She's just taking a nap, you know. I don't know if you could hear her, but she makes like these bubbling noises. It sounds like she's like underwater. She's doing it again. I can't be serious, O'Reilly, when you do that. It's so cute. Hey, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to scare her. Right, Colleen? We might actually have more luck. Right, High Tea Club? The perp can't be. They normally aren't. You know, that I say it all the time, criminals are dumb. And that's the one good thing about criminals is that they're dumb. And they always get caught. Like they always do. I just hope we see a reunion with Nancy. I don't like it. Now they have this person out here that is doing the ransoms. Will that be the next arrest that they make and it won't be nothing tied to her? How come that guy hasn't gotten caught yet? he doesn't seem like he's real smart. He literally has given deadlines and then given them another deadline. Like, you have till Thursday, 5:00. Or if you can't do it Thursday, Monday's fine. And it was like another deadline and another deadline. I mean, it's always another deadline with these people. Now they're changing up the crypto from Bitcoin to what, Ethereum? I don't know. There's not that many. I mean, there's a lot, but you know what I mean? There's not a lot of big ones out there. So I don't know what crypto they would be using or talking about, but oh no, the cartel would have already sent a body part home. 18 days with her. Oh yeah. No, I don't think, not in my personal opinion, do I think it's the cartel. They would have sent a finger, an ear, worse by now. I mean, like, it would be bad. Like, I mean, from what I've heard and read and seen about the cartels. Plus, they have enough stuff to do over there on the other, on their side of the border. She may have, yeah. She may have. We don't know. I know the fear. That's what I get concerned about, the heart, and then her having a high blood pressure on top of it, and then not having her medication. And then this is like the most stressed out she's ever probably been in her whole life of lives. And she's 84. Publicly in its tours. I don't know. You're not making much sense, Guru, on what you're saying. Let me see what else. Was there anything else? I don't think so. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I could find, because it's craziness. Now, do we think the Pima County Sheriff's going to do any better? No, because I'm going to read you something else too. Okay, so it says the DNA that was submitted to CODIS was from the set of gloves found 2 miles away. It did not trigger a match in CODIS and did not match DNA found at the property. The DNA found at the property is being analyzed and further testing needs to be done as part of the investigation. Didn't that sheriff say that they had DNA from the property, and it was already tested? Thought it was already tested. It came back. Should have been. Maybe he didn't. But it didn't trigger whatever they had for the set of gloves found 2 miles away. That was DNA. We don't even care about that DNA if it didn't have anything to do with the house. Bye-bye. Throw the gloves away. Let's keep on going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they didn't, I don't know. Now keep the gloves. Keep the gloves. Because, that DNA from the house, that could be somebody it could have been somebody that came there, maybe a pizza guy. I don't know. And he brought the pizza and he sat down on the counter. I'm just saying. Like, it could have been somebody that they didn't know to contact or something. So, like, but I don't know where this DNA evidence is, right? In the house. They haven't told us. If it's like on her bed or around her bed, then that says something. Or if it's on like her bedroom door, that says something. Front door, maybe that says something. But if it's in like, I don't know, the front door handle, and I don't know, or back door handle, one of the handles, it might not be as much because there's a lot of people that touch handles on doors, right? So. How the sheriff said that if anyone follows SWAT activities, they'll be arrested. Wow. Well, I mean, I can kind of understand that though. They don't need like JLR and his buddy that he met down there, and Brian Enton and all them. They really don't need to be going that close to the cops. That's not safe. That's not safe for SWAT. That's definitely not safe for SWAT because they're the ones going into that line of fire. And, like, I just don't think that's good because whoever did this, they could just be watching Brian Enton and being like, shit, SWAT's coming. That looks like my house. Or JLR or, like, I don't know. So I just feel like they should have to stay back a certain perimeter. And damn, did Brian get in that perimeter? I don't know how he didn't do it. The driver did. Whoever was driving. No, he was driving that night. So it was him. Yeah. Well, I think he was probably just saying it so that everybody knew. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows. Like, because I mean, the two guys that were down there, Dolly and JLR, they're both known to do F shits in some cases. So, I would be saying it too if I was the sheriff. That's the only thing I've actually heard him say that I actually agree with. Is that they shouldn't be following SWAT. They shouldn't be reporting if SWAT is going to a location. They should be. Now I know they're doing the reporting, but when Idaho 4, when the cops brought out all of those kids, started bringing out those kids' belongings, that would have been like the perfect time for everybody to have been like live talking, look at this, everybody look over here. Not one, you could hear a snowflake fall on the ground. All their coverages was like that. Everybody was very quiet, very humble, very just very empathetic. And I think that it needs to be shown here because what if this kidnapper sees Brian Enton or me or you or whoever, reporting or, you know what I mean? Like reporting, like they're going to this house. What if that person sees that and they kill Nancy and themselves or just Nancy because they get scared or they get spooked? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So, yeah. And I think that's why they went back to the house and they taped it back up. I think that he showed them before they even saw it himself or something. Yeah, he didn't realize. Yeah, I don't think he realized but like when you just don't, go that close to the SWAT because it's just, because it can really hurt the SWAT guys. That person could kill Nancy, come out like guns a-blazing. People are not right in the head anymore. They weren't. They never were. I feel like they were. I feel like people were a little bit more before the internet. Just gonna say it. Just gonna say it. We're all doomed. We all have the internet in our head. Yeah. Yeah, but this is just like an 84-year-old woman, and I don't know. We're trying to get her back here. This ain't a war zone, and we're not trying to put her in one either. That's just me. That's just my opinion on it. Like, shit. Speed on through there and, get behind the SWAT. I don't want nothing to happen to Brian Enton either. Or somebody that does get behind SWAT. Or, you know what I mean? Like, if it did happen like that. And I'm not coming after Brian, but you guys know I like Brian. But no, I just don't want him to get, like, hurt either. Couldn't you imagine? Like, person runs out of the house. They just don't even care. And they're just, people are crazy. Not just here on the internet. In the real world. Or even crazier. It's insanity what goes on. Hey, Higgins, you're trending over there on the Twitter, on the X. It says Higgins. It's in sports. I just saw that. That made me think of you. Rob, that's kind of funny. Rob, that made me laugh. It said, let me get this straight. I went to X to see if anything was on there for Nancy. It says, let me get this straight. The FBI were able to find the January 6 people, but they cannot find an 84-year-old woman. That kind of made me laugh a little bit just because it's so ridiculous. Laura said, does Brian Hinton have Venmo? That poor guy. Let me show you this because it has a meme. It said, look at that. Does Brian Hinton have a Venmo? That poor guy deserves some Starbucks. Thanks for all your reporting and hard work. Let us show us our appreciation. I think that's so sweet. That's really sweet. I wonder if he does. Oh. Thanks, High Tea Club. Well, I hope they, you know. Well, they have to use SWAT. And they have to go in the way they go in. Well, I think that people don't go to mainstream media because there was never a media channel that was for true crime other than Ashley Banfield. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there was a place that you could go, like News Nation. There wasn't a place that you could go for true crime on TV. Like I'm talking about like true crime news, unless somebody knows of a place like that I could think of. That's on like cable. No, I'm talking about MSM. Yeah, I never. MSM does. Like not mainstream media, but like MSM, the channel. They do true crime on MSM. Maybe they do. True crime stories. I don't think I ever really watch them, but yeah. I mean, maybe they do on there. Oh. I don't know. I just think that I don't think that they're really mad. Yeah, but I'm talking about like a whole station. Like, you know what I mean? Like News Nation, they'll cover true crime during the daytime. So I think that I don't know. I don't think that really comes to play in this. Like, because we've never had a place like YouTube. Like, I mean, YouTube, there's a million true crime channels. Yeah. I think they could just be putting law enforcement at risk. They could be putting themselves at risk. They could be putting the victim at risk. Yeah. And I think that there's nothing wrong with having a perimeter where you have to stay back a certain amount in order to keep everybody safe. But if, you know what I mean? Like, but that's just me. I don't know. But I think that's all I've got for you guys for tonight. I'm going to jump off of here. I'm like so bad about talk to text. I don't even, I still use it every time. I'm going to use it every time. I'm still going to use it every time. So if you see me in a chat and I say something weird, I probably didn't even see what I wrote. Because like sometimes I'll be like, driving, I know I shouldn't be watching. But I'm not watching the chat. I'm listening to the creator, and then I hit the talk to text. And then I'm like, blah, 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 you know, and then I'll say something, and then it'll probably go up, and it's probably something different. It's probably nothing that I wanted to say. But that's okay. That's okay. Well, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go and lay down with my girls. It's been a long 3 days. Vincent was like, how many appointments do you have? I was like, 4, 5, actually. 5. I had 5 altogether. But I got some really good news back today. Some real good news. So that's really good. And then next week I only have 1 appointment. So I'm going to read what video? I can't read a video, Ladybug. I've been looking for that video. I can't find it anywhere. Oh. Who's True Crime Joe? That is. And it's a written statement? No. Hold on. I thought you said this was a video of him saying the son-in-law was, you said the son-in-law was talking on a video. If you tell me right now that this person wrote this statement, this creator did, I'm going to fall out of my chair. Is it a video? Yeah, they might be on tactical channels or channels that just we don't have access to. And that's probably for the better. Okay. Yeah, just send it over to me and then I'll figure out what it is. But thank you guys for being here. I'll be back on tomorrow. I might be on even earlier. You never know. I will be on earlier than tonight. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night and lock your doors, lock your windows, all the things I tell you to do. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now.